I decided it was time to give myself a challenge for no reason at all, besides that I feel like it's like a little quick dopamine hit for myself. If you watched my last video, you saw that I went on a little vacation recently, making some nice pieces for my vacation, and this is part 2 of that video, using things from my stash that I've been holding on to a little too long. I'm gonna break it down how I went about the project. Pattern making, sewing, crafting, projecting, contemplating, overthinking, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes you have projects that start based on your ideas in a sketch, and then sometimes you have projects that start based on a fabric that you found. This one was definitely started by me finding this fabric and needing to make something out of it. Needed to have it. I just really feel like it's hard to find these types of florals in today's fabric market. I just love all the dark, rich colors. So I originally bought this fabric about 2 years ago. I had no intention with it. I was just like, I need to use this for something. It's so pretty, but like chic, you know? So the first thing I kind of had to do was just sketch out any thoughts, because when it tends to be something that I'm patterning from scratch, I overthink it entirely. And I feel like I can't do anything. Like something's way too challenging for me, and I tend to prove myself wrong. Not always, but I probably sketched about at least 12 to 16 things, if not more. The skirt I kind of had nailed down at first, and then I was kind of going in a different direction.
Okay, this is super messy and it's kind of hard to see, but basically I was trying to lay out the placement of the print on this, but what if I make it pants? Anyway, so here's my idea. So we turn this into a pant, kind of like a slimmer pant. I have a photo. And then what if I make like a cute little, I could add the wrap skirt, but it's a mini skirt and it's cut on the bias, but instead of it being the print, it's a sheer organza black or a sheer chiffon. I have a silk chiffon in my stash, but I do think it'd be kind of cute in organza. So that one I'm still playing with. Ignore the top. I originally did it a different top, and then now I'm trying to modify it, but I couldn't find my eraser.
And honestly, I still love this idea. And I was kind of landing on, do I want to make this a dress? And then the issue with this is that my fabric wasn't wide enough. So I had to give this one up and scratch it pretty quickly. I really still liked the wrap skirt. So I just felt like it felt right for this fabric. And that's what I ended up going with. So we moved on. Pattern making time. I'm going to attempt to make the wrap skirt pattern because I feel like it's good practice, and also if I decide to not do it, I have it for something else, because the mini one would be kind of cute. Anyway, so I'm gonna attempt to do that. I feel like I'm in the mood for something challenging that might break my brain. Got my setup over here. Basically, I'm gonna start off with my block. I have my blocks in this one little guy. So I got my skirt block, and this one fit really good, so I don't really think I have to do any changes. Sorry, my AC is blasting right now. It's hot today, okay? So yeah, I'm gonna take this skirt block and I'm gonna try to make a wrap skirt. This is the book we're going to be using to help us today. It is the Helen Armstrong Patternmaking for Fashion Design book. We are referencing the wrap skirt. Right into business. First, I'm going to trace out my skirt pattern block. If you want to know how I did this, you can check out the pinned video on my page. I'm using a tracing wheel. If making a skirt block is too much for you, you could take a skirt that you already own that fits you nice and well and trace that. Preferably something that looks similar. We're starting off by making the wrap part of the wrap skirt. So this is the overlayer. Okay, so we're basically going to extend the center front 6 inches. Let's see here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5. And I'm gonna draw the new, I don't want to face it. I guess I have to have it facing. Here's the front skirt, extend, line up from center front at the waist and hem. Extension, fold back for facing. I just don't know if I want a facing. What if I just do 3.5 because I don't want a facing? This is how you make design decisions, you know? Okay, well, so then we mark the 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to extend it out here. And that's it. That seems a little too easy. Oh, I'm supposed to put a dotted line. Then you gotta make sure you label everything. The minute I don't label something, I have no idea what it is. Then I'm lengthening it to my desired length. And the only mistake I made here is that I should have added more room at the sweep. It's a little tight while I'm walking, so I would maybe slash and spread it a little bit to just give yourself a little more walking room. Girl also say hello. Go ahead. We are at a place where I've made 14 protos and I need to move on with my life. I just got done making my 3rd proto for this top. Okay, pause. I started to pattern make this top, and honestly, it almost gave me a brain aneurysm, so I had to stop. Filming and pattern making really are a doozy, let me tell you. Let me take you through the stages. Okay, we have our little shoulder cap. I'm gonna cut it in half. and take the front piece. I measured the curve of this section 5 1/4, so I'm gonna measure that on here as well, and labeled it X. And then I'm supposed to match the X's, LOL. Okay, I just wung this. Wung? I just wung this. So, let me try them on. Okay, this was my first sample, and we've changed direction here, but I just wanted to show you what it fit like before I moved on to the second one. And then also, I'm still kind of in a debacle if I should keep this as a skirt. Sir, I'm in a debacle if I should keep this as a midi skirt, or as a mini skirt, or as a pant. We're very confused here. But I think that I'm still leaning towards skirt, even though pants might be better for the humidity. Okay, so first one, show you second. Okay, here's my third proto for the top. For the skirt, I feel like it honestly looks pretty good. I just could probably take it in a little bit, and I think I need to drop it a little lower because it's a little too high-waisted. This will be the same length. I just didn't want to waste fabric. Okay, so here's my issues with this top that I still need to work on, and then I think I can cut out my fabric, but I'm scared. So I think that this needs to drop like another inch, and then I'm gonna add length to this yoke part so that then I can drop my skirt in and I go to like kiss. Second base. Other than that, I feel like it looks pretty good. The biggest issue I was having was that my sleeve and armhole were not matching up and they were just doing something crazy. And I just like had not enough room. So I'm having to drop the armhole like 3/4 or something. And then also my shoulder seam, I moved up. So I'm hoping, I tested one more just to make sure I was getting on the right track because my fabric is silk. I don't want to waste it. Okay, so what's this little contraption? This is a revised one. Basically, this sleeve is in a much better place. It's actually at where it should be. My sleeve cap. It's where it should be. And then also because my armhole's too slow. And also because my armhole is too small, it's just like won't go up my shoulder here. So yeah, I think I'm feeling confident. I fixed everything and fingers crossed. I guess what I could do is just always add a little bit more seam allowance so that if something gets messed up, I have some room to fix it. I don't know. I think it's worth showing you the pants though, so. Okay, here's the pant version. I love them. Maybe they're not right for this situation or this fabric that I'm making them in, but I still love them for another reason. I feel like it just like, I know it looks like a cocktail waitress or like a waitress in general, but like, I kind of like that. But maybe I skip them for this time, but use them for something else. I forgot to mention my finishings. So this, I'm gonna do like a binding all the way around the neckline, so it won't just be unfinished. But I thought it'd be kind of cute because then I can have the binding end with the tie at the back end. But basically, this kind of tie. Okay, bye. Okay, last time you saw me, I like started to build it and tried to like make decisions on where to like placement cut everything. And it was so stressful, I couldn't film it, if I'm being honest. I was stressed. So we just took it off the camera. I think I changed the placement about 75 times. Anyway, so today's the day. We are going to start sewing. But also I have a little bit of a predicament, and that is that I still have to cut my sleeves and some bias to clean finish everything. And what I'm annoyed by is that I didn't think ahead, and I didn't get any silk CDC in like a plain black, but I have to use a polyester CDC. I don't know, it just kind of bummed me out. Everything's gonna be in silk and then I have to use polyester binding. Just feels like that was stupid. Anyway, watch me struggle doing that for now. I still have to cut like 3 things. I still have to cut my sleeves, my front yoke, and my bands for the back, and my bias. So I guess I'm gonna have to cut out most of that from there. But here's what I have left. I have one like panel. So I think I can cut out the yoke for shorts, that's the most important. And then hopefully I can get away with cutting out some sleeves. The problem is that this isn't like the prettiest part to cut a sleeve out of. So I'm gonna have to do some maneuvering here. Love you so much, but you're kind of in the way, darling. What's new? What's new? Okay, so I'm gonna have to cut 2, but I want to cut it on the fold. I don't think it's gonna make it. No! I don't want to put a center seam. It's gonna be ugly. Definitely not gonna fit. Okay, well, see, I told you this part was still stressful. Here's my front pieces. They're cut from really up on the top. This is basically is here.
Don't go out there.
I had no plans.
Don't.
I'm fucked. What do I do? Okay, I guess my only solution is that the front is gonna have to not have a border, and that's fucked up. The only other solution that I do have is that I cut out the bottom border here, like separate this piece, but then it's gonna be 2 pieces and that's kind of fug. So, I mean, I don't even know if these blacks match. I mean, let's see what it looks on camera. It's not the worst, I guess. Could be worse, could be. Do I start sewing first and then I figure it out? Maybe I do that and not cut into the fabric one more time. Okay, I think that's my solution. I'm going to serge everything and then I'm going to hold off on cutting the front yoke because I'm an idiot and didn't cut it out first. I really thought I had enough. That was really stupid. Okay, then I'll cut out the sleeves because I can always cut out the sleeves on the black plain CDC. Okay, change of plans.
I ended up serging everything. It's not my favorite, and I honestly probably should have just done French seams for everything, but I wasn't thinking ahead. It looks good enough for now. I need to prepare my darts, so let's do that. Also, I went back and was watching season 18 of Project Runway. This was such a good season. Lots of annoying people, lots of fun people, lots of people that shouldn't have gotten eliminated in the beginning. Do we think Sergio is done telling his stories or? And it was so cute to see Jeffrey win, but also Nancy, I loved her. She reminds me of one of my old pattern makers for sure. I really liked Chelsea, Daeyoung. But I feels like for the newer seasons that they took away like you taking off a couple months and doing your collection. Now you're just going straight from last episode to collection. And I don't know if I like that more. Anyway, this season had me locked in. Okay, over the years, I've tried to find the best way that I like to do my darts. And honestly, I really haven't found the best way, but I do think that this way does help. Forgot where I learned this tip from, probably from someone online. Anyway, I'm just threading a needle. Okay, so I'm just gonna poke through the hole, okay? And then poke through both layers. Give it enough room. I do knot it first, just so I have something to grip to when I go through. Then it stays right there. And then I'm gonna basically like separate these and cut in between them. I'm gonna be so honest right now, everything's pissing me the fuck off. I'm like literally, I put a pin in, it falls out. I try to iron it, it irons wrong. Just some days, sewing is really freaking frustrating, let me tell you. No, telemarketer, I don't want you to call me. So, I have not accomplished one thing in the past hour besides, I guess if you count an accomplishment as just tracing darts. Tracing darts. Other than that, that's all I've done. Now I'm pinning the darts and then hopefully I can start sewing them soon because the rest of the sewing isn't really that difficult, but it is difficult for this brain because I might just, I don't know why I'm so frustrated today. Not my day, guys, not my day. But I literally have 7 days until I leave. So either I finish this and I get over it or I don't have an outfit. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. Okay, I want to do a thread test. I mean, it's just gonna be the internal color, and this is already white, so I'm kind of like, do I just go with white? And then for the hem, I obviously would do black. Maybe I should just do white. Yeah, my machine's already threaded white, so. My first start. Oh, this is so frustrating because it's so like bouncy. It won't lay flat. It's really driving me insane. This was the other hurdle I had, was that the fabric on the cross grain had a lot of stretch and I was not accounting for that originally. So it did kind of mess me up sewing a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. I really tried to work through it. And honestly, I feel like it looks pretty good when I'm wearing it. There's not like too much rippling, but it really made those darts unbearable. You'll see later that I actually removed this stitch and changed the finishing of my front wrap. To be more consistent with the top, it felt like the right thing to do to make them more cohesive. Of course, when I cut this, I was a little off on the top edge. So, I lined up the print perfectly, so I think I'm just gonna go with it and I'll just chop off however I unaligned it on the top. Anyway, I'm going to baste the two fronts together, but then we can then connect them with the back. Duh. That was so hard.
I've made it to 11:30. I want to do one more seam. And then all right, we're back. You saw my updates. I just got a facial for my vacation. We're almost ready to go. But I have a lot of sewing to do. So today I decided I'm gonna cut out all the binding that I need in the polyester because I have no choice. I have no time. The Joann's isn't open. I can't order anything. I'm not anyway. So thankfully I have some leftover yardage from work to use. Polyester CDC. I should probably iron this first, but I'm a little lazy. But I have a lot of bias making to make, and then I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with the top. But I think that I'll just cut all the bias, and then maybe I'll see where I go if I get to cutting the rest of the top. I also came up with an idea for the top. Maybe I just need to add princess seams so that there's 2 seams, so that I can make the piece fit instead of it being one big piece. Even though I don't like the idea of it at all, but it's where my head's at. So I got 6 more days. 6 more days. I have to finish my belt too. And I also have a sequin top, and I don't know if I'm gonna get to the sequin top. But for now, we're going with the set because she's my favorite. Croissant snack? Should I just iron it? I know I should. Ugh.
These always struggle with his age.
Okay, so here's the plan. Let's break it down. 1, I'm gonna sew my front and my back together. 2, 1, I'm gonna prepare all the shearing. 2nd, I'm going to sew the shoulder seams together. How and why? Something doesn't fit. Okay, bad idea. I gotta do the binding first. So I'm gonna rip out the sides. 3, I'm going to attach the binding all around the neckline. 4, I'm gonna attach the back yoke to the straps. What? I'm gonna attach the back yoke to the ties. I also have to make the ties. More bias, and more bias. Then, after I put together the back ties with the back yoke, I'm going to try to figure out how I should cut the front yoke. So we're kind of going backwards here. I just remembered though that I should probably serge my seams of the top. Actually, no, I don't need to because I'm gonna put binding on them. Thinking smart, okay? Think smart. We're getting in the home stretch here now that I'm putting this binding on. Well, I tried to really be meticulous about this so I could stitch in the ditch properly. I slowed down the speed and just tried to take it real slow going around the neckline. And I'm glad I did because it turned out nicely. When I was being sloppy, it looked bad. Matching the binding at the shoulder seam though was giving me some trouble because earlier you noticed that my pattern didn't match up perfectly. So I think this had something to do with it, but I fixed it and it looks good. We're really getting into crunch time territory right now. Okay, I decided I'm gonna rip out the seam I did on the center front wrap part, and I'm going to add the binding. Lots of ripping. That's okay. It hasn't been that bad. The fabric hasn't like gotten weird after ripping, which sometimes it does. So I'm excited that that hasn't happened. It's been pretty durable during this experience. So I'm gonna rip this out, and then I'm going to connect these 2 bindings together, and hopefully it's enough for at least one side. I think it's enough to go up here, all the way up this seam, and to go around the top of the wrap, but I might need to press some more binding to go around the waist and to finish the top. Ugh, I hate making binding. Hate it! I literally was making binding yesterday for 2.5 hours, maybe longer. I could have gotten so much more sewing done if I just wasn't making binding, but of course, here we are. Sometimes I like to rip it just like one by one instead of like ripping it through. Like I hate pulling out all the threads when they're all like little and tiny. So I sometimes just like to pick through and just like get one long string coming out. Blah, 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 blah. Back. I got my partner.
We're super pinned. And now I'm gonna sew.
We lost our company to an unfair, powerful situation. There was no one for us to go. We lost her. One day, I saw Yankee, and I saw the wrong thing. I think it's like that. He said, "What do you want?" I said, "I just want."
Day before vacation. I'm still sewing. 6:38 on September 26th, and we leave tomorrow morning at a happy 7:25 in the a.m. I'm pretty confident. I think I can finish this, but here's where I'm at. I'm working on, Okay, so here is the back, and this is the center back. I already did the other side too, so I already have both done. I attached the tie, I clean fish and understitch the hem, basically. So now I'm just preparing the front yoke so that I can attach the side seams together. And then all I have left is to cut out the sleeves and attach those, but I'm gonna try it on first, make sure everything fits. Sending good prayers. Hello? Okay. You're not contributing to the project.
Time check. Time check?
9:13.
9:13 p.m. Flight in 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it? 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll say 8 hours because we have to wake up before that. So. But we're almost done. We'll see how long I can keep up with this. But I think that I have like literally, if I can make it through this, I probably have like an hour's worth of work. So it's possible. It's not like I'm gonna go to bed anytime sooner just because I have to wake up earlier, you know? That's my thought process. Because I can't even go to bed when I need to go to bed for work. So what makes you think I can go to bed now? Now I'm going to sew the two pieces together. Actually, I'm gonna close off this seam first, which is just clean finishing the back panel, the back bottom panel. Oh, no. I need to sew the side seams together. I don't know, I gotta go. After a very long, relentless night of me trying to finish, I somewhat finished. No one is here holding me hostage trying to make all these things, but you know, I'm just trying to practice. And if I'm ever gonna make it to Project Runway one day, this is exactly what you have to do. I see future goals, okay? Here's my original line sheet that I laid out for myself of everything I wanted to make for this trip. And, you know, I got pretty far. RIP my sequin top, maybe next year.
Spin. Oh. It's my fault, guys.
It was just a dance. So if you've been following me on my journey of this outfit, then you've seen it like this, and then you've seen it like this, and now here we are. Final results. Spin. I had to bring some trimming scissors to trim off all of the excess thread, and I did not hem my skirt. This is the salvage. But it works, okay? Maybe my sleeves should be shorter, but they should have been because I didn't hem them either. The goal was to finish, and that's good enough, so. B-made outfit. And you know, I'm proud of her.